All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Richard Taylor, and I'm doing a follow-up on this story I did about the Goldsboro Housing Authority and some of the living conditions that the residents of the different various complexes in Goldsboro, North Carolina have to deal with. In that video, I focused on a young lady in which black mold was found in her bloodstream by a doctor she went to. And if I'm not mistaken, that individual stayed in the Little Washington area of Goldsboro. Now, since I did that video, a lot of people have reached out to me expressing their own concerns about their particular housing areas that is governed by the Goldsboro Housing Authority. So I'm going to share some of those complaints and testimonies from various residents of these different complexes. Also going to read you some of the comments from that original video that I did. And I'm also going to read you some messages from people as well that was sent. Now, one of the first people who reached out to me, and I won't say her name because initially she said, yeah, I don't care if you say my name. But after talking to some family members and people close to her, she decided not to because, as most people fear, there may be some retaliation for them sharing their stories. Now, this person stays in Lincoln Homes, or most commonly known as the old projects, in which my father and his mother lived in when they were younger. However, this lady sent me some very egregious pictures, and I'll probably show you some of these pictures of black mold all around her bathroom, in the tub, and various areas of her bathroom. Now, I asked her, did she inform the office about it, and she said she had informed the office numerous times, and she mentioned a lady named Ashley. And then Ashley told her, well, just talk to the maintenance people. And when the maintenance people pretty much came in there, they just said, okay, it's just normal mold. You know, it's nothing to worry about. Just like they told the lady in Fairview and Little Washington in the other video. Now, also, they told her, well, she has to clean it up, because if she doesn't, then they would have to charge her. Now, anybody knows molds come from moisture within inside the walls in certain areas, that no matter how much you clean it, if the moisture is not taken care of, then it's going to be an ongoing situation. Now, this lady informed me that probably about 2 days ago, she had to take her daughter to the emergency room because, you know, her iron and also her blood pressure was so low that they had to give her 5 bags of fluid. Now, of course, I read through the different side effects and the symptoms of, you know, mold poisoning. And, you know, the mother told me that, you know, her daughter had been feeling sick and, you know, headaches and things like that for quite some time. Now, I encouraged the mother to go to the doctors and, you know, get her daughter tested once again for the presence of mold in her bloodstream. Now, this lady said once again she has continuously informed maintenance about it, but, you know, they said they don't make a report because once again, if they do something, they're going to have to charge her. Now, also, I received another message from an individual that stayed in Elmwood Terrace, also called the New Projects. And she informed me that there is mold in Elmwood Terrace too. It comes through the floors and has a very strong scent to it. And I asked her, did the residents make it known? And this person said yes. Years ago, nothing was done, and the scent of it is now so strong that no matter how much you clean, you can't get rid of it. It's in the walls, on the baseboards, the towel on the floor, all around the shower, constantly having to clean. But it's getting to the point that the apartment begins to smell like strong black pepper. And I was wondering why I would wake up with bad headaches, and I'm sure that's what it is. Once again, now this is a resident in another Goldsboro Housing Authority ran apartment complex having the same issue. And once again, she has stated that she reported it as well, but nothing has been done about it. Now, once again, over the years, inhaling and breathing in black mold is very dangerous. And here you see some of the symptoms, bad headaches. Now, also, another Goldsboro Housing Authority complex, West Haven. This lady starts with saying, yes, it is in West Haven too. My nephew had lead in his system. Another Goldsboro Housing Authority issue. Now also another lady mentioned Little Washington has mold in her apartment and lead, and they had pics to prove it. Now I'm going to show you some of those pictures that was sent, but I'm also going to read some of the comments from the previous video. One said that she's definitely not lying. I had mold in my place in Little Washington and pics to prove it. Another lady commented, said, yeah, it's sad and they will not do anything about it. Another person states, we had proof, pics, and videos. Went to News Argus and nobody was trying to believe anything. Too late to see now. Also, one person said, girl, they finally came and redid my bathroom. And she has the photos on this post. I'm going to go to this post as well and show you on my phone. Someone tagged mayor, the mayor in this post, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. This lady continues to show pictures of her bathroom in mold. This one lady says, finally, I lived in the Housing Authority for 10 years, 7 years in Fairview, 3 in Little Washington. Myself and my kids were literally sick the entire time. I had never been treated for any allergies or asthma in my whole 25 years of life before moving there. I wound up with chronic bronchitis, sinusitis, frequent pneumonia, sinus surgery, when antibiotics quit working, inhalers, nebulizers, etc. Moved out 8 years now and still dealing with the repercussions to my health. So happily you were finally heard. And the you that she's talking about is one Natalia Newkirk, if I'm not mistaken. But she was the one who has been very adamant about exposing these issues and the negligence of Goldsboro Housing Authority, its officials, its administrators, its staff, for lack of a better word, its gatekeepers, from doing anything about it. And, a lot of people have called her crazy, but what we found out within this last couple of days, that her claims are warranted. Now, a lot of people may not like her delivery. They may not like, her straightforwardness and the way she goes about things. But who are you to say how you are going to react with years and years and years of, this type of neglect in housing areas? Or who are you to say, how do you react when you've been telling them, hey, there's mold, there's bed bugs, there's lead in your apartment, you and your kids are getting sick on a day-to-day or weekly basis, and yet and still they refuse to accommodate you, then of course your response may be different than someone who hasn't went through that particular situation. I hate it's taking this platform to finally hear your voice. Once again, they're talking to Monet. And then here's another person that said that she's really not crazy. She says, my mom has mold in her place too. And we actually talked on Messenger as well. And her mom stays, once again, in Elmwood Terrace or the new projects. And here's another. She's been telling everybody this. Nobody wanted to listen. Now see if they would give her and everyone else what they've known. She's been saying it for a long time, pictures and all. Yeah, and she even went and tagged me in some of the pictures. And I'm going to go and show you some of the pictures that were on the particular post. But I'm also going to show you some pictures that were sent to me by the lady in Lincoln Homes. And y'all got to excuse my phone too. I dropped it the other morning. And so, but let me just read you or show you some of these pictures that I just came across this morning. I would have downloaded them. But here's the picture of mold and somebody. You see my cracked phone, but don't worry about that. You see the mold right there. This is, I guess, this is the effects of the mold. You see right there, I think that's the bottom of something. The mold is eating through that, which it does. Now she does a video. I'm not going to play that video. But yeah, so now this is a very clear picture of the mold that is in her bathroom. Now also, these are the pictures that were sent to me by another young lady who stays in what is called Lincoln Homes. Now this is what she sees right there. You see mold right there, in that mold all through the cracks, not the cracks of my phone, but the crack of the bathtub there. And here, that is a shower head completely filled with black mold. And she showed me some of the cleaning products that she has to use. Once again, black mold is all over the railings and things like that. So this, okay, here we go. Now this was a picture that she showed me, and that's Monet. Now that is her air conditioning unit. And she also tagged me in a couple of posts where the doctors literally was telling her or gave her letters, and I actually have them right here. This is from the Dr. Jason Edward Lang. Asthma may be triggered by allergens and irritants that are common in your home. Help your child breathe easier. Now, this is an email from a doctor who sent her. Man, she got so much proof. There was a letter written that she tagged me in. Okay, so now this is in reference to that HVAC I just showed you. My recommendation is to have the HVAC system thoroughly cleaned by a licensed contractor and the filter be maintained every 30 days. I would also recommend an air scrubber to remediate and further prevent mold and mildew. There is no there's a water leak in the wall. Now that's what mold comes from: water and moisture condensing or gathering up over a large period of time. There's also a water leak in the wall in the bathroom, causing high moisture and mold conditions behind the sink area that need to be opened and remediated. Now, she has also letters from doctors and letters written by the doctors to the particular housing authority recommending that, hey, y'all need to get this thing rectified. So this is not an isolated incident. I think a couple of units in Fairview were torn down because of either lead or mold or asbestos, and they planned on redoing the whole Fairview housing area. But these, and understandably, these apartments, like I said, my grandmother's mother and even her grandmother stayed in these housing areas. So they're, they may be 100 years old. Therefore, that there has to be some maintenance of these things if you're going to continue to allow people to live in there. And if not, you have to rectify the situation. If you can continue to allow people to live in there, you have to rectify the particular situations that they are dealing with, rather than let them suffer health issues, very serious health issues. As you've seen this one lady mention, she mentioned a myriad of conditions: chronic bronchitis, sinusitis, pneumonia, sinus surgery. Those are things that can eventually kill you or weaken you to the point where, you're not able to experience the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that we all want. Now, I reached out to the Goldsboro Housing Authority. It was an automated system. And they said to speak with someone in this location, press 1. Speak with someone in that location, press 2. Speak to someone in this location, press 3. So I didn't press any button because I want to speak to someone who overrides all of this. Now, if each individual area has documented cases or complaints of these situations, then this is not a individual area problem. It is, but it's also a systematic, it's an overall, it's administrative, it's a corporate problem. Now, also what people don't know about Goldsboro Housing Authority is I always thought that they were an entity of the state or of the county or of the government. However, I've learned through my minimal research, I'll say, that they are a nonprofit organization. And so, while they are a nonprofit organization, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are getting federal funding from the government to keep these properties in an operable fashion. Now, if they are doing this, receiving these funds to make sure people have fair, healthy, safe, and equitable housing, then they also have a duty. They have a responsibility to make sure that that housing is in accordance with the mandates governed by the state or the federal government. Now, I'm sure that all of these complaints are not in line or in alignment with the statutes that are required to keep these properties open. So while I have not talked to anybody at the Goldsboro Housing Authority, I will be reaching out, or if you want to reach out to me, which I doubt you do, because you know there's no excuse for this type of negligence, and you're wanting to charge residents for cleaning something that is a structural problem. You know, this is structural. They said, water leaks cause mold. Like, just not, one lady told me they advise her to open your windows every time you take a shower. I've been taking the showers for a long time. I never had to open my windows in any apartment or house I've lived in. So why should they have to? That means that it is a structural latent defects. That means behind the scenes. That's why people are saying that they can clean up all the mold and forever and ever and ever, but it's all going to come back, because no matter how much you clean it, if there's structural, if there's latent damage, if there's leaks in the wall causing water to pool and condense, then the mold is going to be a continuous issue. So that should not be on the resident. That should be on the landlord or the overall owning authority of these residences. So we're going to reach back out to them. Hopefully, I'll get someone in the administrative capacity to discuss these issues, because once again, we're talking about elderly. We're talking about children. We're talking about a lot of times single mothers who are the sole parents of these families. And they should not have to endure health, sickness, just the lower quality of life. Now, you're wondering why kids are not learning, why kids are misbehaving, why kids are not reaching their full potential, because they're breathing in this stuff in these neighborhoods and nobody's doing anything about it. And if you do any research, physical health does affect your ability or your capacity to learn, and vice versa. Your mental health affects your physical. So these children, these parents, these veterans, these elders, these seniors are all experiencing this atrocity. Let's call this what it was. What it is. It's an atrocity that people are having to live in mold infested places. And these people are getting grants from the government, and people are paying rent. Somebody told me that it was in Seymour too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Seymour, I know Green Acres or the Granite Day Point is now privately owned. Y'all tell me if Seymour is not privately owned as well. I don't know. But there's definitely a prevalence of neglect, benign neglect, by this Goldsboro Housing Authority, which once again, it is not a state entity. It is a nonprofit, if I'm not mistaken, organization that's receiving federal funds to ensure that these properties are not in the condition that they are. And once again, many people are not as blatant or courageous as I am, because for one, I don't stay out there, so there's no possibility of retaliation against me. But a lot of these people feel that, if they complain too much, then they are going to, be shown the front door, which should not be. Anytime you're living in an area when you're paying rent, no matter how large or small that rent may be, you're entitled to have this property operating in a manner that doesn't put your physical, mental, or emotional health at risk. But 919-587-7782, we're going to keep gathering all of these complaints. I may even, call up some of my attorney friends. Of course, not around here, because, most attorneys around here, they're not going to cause a ruckus in the judicial system around here, especially if it's going to put their career in an uncomfortable position where they have to work with people who may have vested interest in things like this keep going, or being responsible, costing the city, the housing authority, or anybody connected with that entity any displeasure. Let's say that. But that's a lot of that is a big problem when you're in these small towns where everybody's networked and clicked up together, where the judge may have a cousin who's on the board of Goldsboro Housing Authority, and they're they want that to run smoothly because they don't want their cousin being financially liable. Or, how I don't have to go into detail. Everybody know how it works in these small Eastern North Carolina towns. But nevertheless, that's what we doing, man. Goldsboro residents of the Goldsboro Housing Authority are continue to speak out. And once again, my number is 919-587-7782. You can continue to pour in these complaints to me, and we'll try to gather something together to make sure that people get justice, if not reparations, for what they've gone through. And once again, shout out to my girl Natalia Monet, whatever you want to call her, on Facebook, because she has been the spearhead of this. And a lot of people talk and listen, but she's been very vocal about this. And I'm just happy that she has not been quieted, despite some of the maybe backlash or even retribution that has been laid upon her for her exposing these matters. So I just thank her. I appreciate her. And we're gonna keep this issue hot. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.